Hello students of 7th standard. From today we are going to start your lessons from science subject. So today for this you can say for this term we are having the lessons from 11 to 15. Today we are going to start the lesson of 11th chapter, that is nothing but cell structure and microorganisms. So you might have seen our body. Our body is a very huge body. You can say animal. We are nothing but a type of a animal, and our body is made up of different types of cells. Now, what is actually the cell? So, whenever we consider our body is made up of different types of cells that I have told you. Now, cells are the working units of our body. So, how do we define cell? So, cell is nothing but it is a structural and functional unit of a body. Why we call it as a structural, or you can say functional unit of a body? We call it as a structural because it gives the structure to our body. And why we call it as a functional? Because it does the various functions or various works of our body. Therefore, we call it as it is a structural and functional unit of a body. Therefore, today we are going to see the cell structure and the microorganisms. So here I have told you that cell is nothing but a structural and functional unit of a body. Now students, you may have one question. What is madam going to tell about the microorganisms? Microorganisms. Micro means very small, and organisms means these are nothing but the living beings. Small creatures are called as organisms. So how we define the microorganisms? The organisms which are not seen by our naked eyes. That means we cannot see them with our eyes. We can see them only under the microscope. That means we cannot see them with our naked eyes, and if we want to observe it, we want to observe it with our naked eyes. So these are nothing but the very, you can say, minute creatures. Similarly, the cells are also, you can say, minute creatures of the minute functional and structural units of our body. There are number of, you can say, smaller units in our body, but cell is one of the most important, you can say, in our body. So, we have learned the cellular organization in the primary characteristics of the, you can say, living organism. So only we define that the cell is nothing but a structural and functional unit of a living organism. See, there is one flow chart given in your textbook. What it is given? See, there are some fill in the blanks that we have to fill. See there? Words. Whenever you see words, how are they made up of? We have the alphabets from A to Z. The alphabets, whenever we see, the alphabets are useful to make the, you can say, words. The words are useful to make the sentences. The sentences are useful to make the passages. Passages are useful to make the chapters. Chapters makes the book. So this is nothing but a, you can say, one type of a thing where we are going to learn from this. So we see the structural, you can say, organization of the book into the flow chart. See, similarly, organization unit in the living organisms. So see what is there? There are cells, tissues, organs, organ system, organism, So cell is nothing but one of the, you can say, basic structure and functional unit of the, you can say, living organism. So cell helps the organism in each and every way because various processes are carried out into the body of a person. So whenever these processes are carried out, there is a, you can say, importance of the cell. Where do the life processes of a unicellular organism takes place? See, there are various, you can say, processes. There are various cells. The group of cells forms the tissues. The group of tissues forms the organ. The group of organs forms the organ system. Various organ system forms the body. So this is nothing but one of the flow chart that is given in your textbook. So that is nothing but a organization of the, you can say, living organisms. Now here we are going to see the one of the important scientists. There was a scientist who studied about this cell. Now see who is the scientist. In 1665. In 1665 there was one scientist whose name was Robert Hooke. So what does he observe? See, he took a core of a, you can say, a thin section of a core and he observed it under the microscope. In this section he saw the hexagonal compartments. So what did he see? He saw the hexagonal compartments like the, you can say, beehive. So in beehive there are also the compartments, and similarly he saw the compartments like structure. So he named them as a compartments, and these compartments were called as cells by him. So the term, you can say, the cell, which is derived from a Latin word that is nothing but a cella, and which means a small room. Small rooms is called as a cella. So this cella is seen by the, you can say, Robert Hooke. In 1838, two scientists, see, M.G. Scladen and Theodore Schwann, formulated a theory about cellular structure which stated all the organisms are made up of cells and the cell is a fundamental component of a living organism. These two scientists, what they stated, that cell is nothing but one of the important structure. We have seen here that cell is nothing but a structural and functional unit of a body. The same definition was given by these two scientists. Then see, in 1885, Rudolf Virchow, this was one of the scientists, he stated that the cells were formed by the pre-existing cells. That the cells were formed by the pre-existing cells. Then see next one, measurement and observation of the cells. In 1673, Antoine Leeuwenhoek assembled various lenses to construct a microscope. Whenever you see, there was a, you can say, microscope. So this microscope in 1673, there was one scientist whose name was Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He assembled number of lenses, and from these lenses there was a, you can say, the microscope was created. And first he observed the bacterial, or you can say the protozoan cells under the, you can say, microscope. So whenever you see the cells are extremely minute in the size. Whenever you see the size of the cells are very minute in the size. We cannot see the cells with our naked eyes. Whenever we want to measure the cells, so what are the units we form there? That are nothing but micrometer and nanometer are the units which are used for measuring the size of the cell. So this is most important. Whenever you want to measure the, you can say, size of the cell, how you are going to measure? Micrometer and nanometer. These are the units we are using for measuring the, you can say, sizes. The compound microscope is used to observe the, you can say, various types of the cells. An object on a glass slide magnified many times by the lenses of the, you can say, microscope. Instead of seeing with the glass slide, we can see the number of lenses are assembled into the microscope, and whenever you see a particular cell under the microscope, you can see it very clearly. So see, there is a, you can say, picture of a compound microscope is given in your textbook. See what it has? It has eyepiece, then coarse focus knob, fine focus knob, tube is there, objective lenses are there, which are very important in case of a, you can say, microscope. There is a stage and there is a illuminator. So various types of the, you can say, units you can see in case of the microscope. Then see next one. Let us try this. You have to take a piece, segment of an onion and carefully separate the skin from the concave surface with the help of the forceps. So what you have to do? You have to take an onion, you have to cut it, and the inner surface contains one thin membrane. You want to remove this thin membrane with the help of the forceps. Then see, you have to place this membrane on a glass slide and put a drop of water on it. So what care here you have to take? This membrane should not fold or should not tear. It should be, you can say, evenly spread into the water or into the dish. Now put a drop of dilute solution of iodine. So what you have to do? You have to put a drop of solution, that is nothing but iodine, or you can say eosin, into it, so that you can see the parts very clearly. Then see, observe it under 10x objective of the compound microscope. Now this membrane you have to spread on the slide. You have to put a cover slip, and this slide you want to observe under the microscope. Whenever you are observing under the microscope, you will see all of the parts whichever the membrane contains. Now whenever you are putting the cover slip, you should be always aware that there should not be any air bubble or the membrane should not be fold. Then see, in the same way you can observe the cells of the, you can say, leaves, bark, root tips. So do remember, you can also observe amoeba or paramecium which is found into the water. Now whenever you observe, you find that there are compartments or room-like structures which are nothing but the cells. Then see, are the cells that you observed all alike? What is the structure? What are their shapes? They are triangular in shape, rectangular in shape. So these are very important. So if we want to collect the information about the cell, you can collect it from the school library, and you can also tell the, you can say, what is type of the cell. So this is nothing but the, you can say, in today's lecture we have seen about the cell structure, about the microorganism, what is the, you can say, compound microscope. All these things we have seen. The further points we will see in the next lecture.